Welcome everyone. We're going to start in a couple minutes because we're still waiting for. I think people are entering the Zoom from all over the world. I believe that we have people attending, obviously from London and all over Britain, and in America and Canada. I don't know. There were people that wanted to come from Australia, but I think the time difference was difficult. I think it's 3 in the morning, isn't it? 3:30 in the morning. So I think we have people from Europe as well. I think we have someone from Italy, don't we, coming, Deborah? Our friends.
A few, yeah.
So, and I guess while people are waiting, they can be looking at what's behind myself, which is a beautiful painting by Deborah called Bing Bong. And that is what is behind Deborah is a beautiful painting called Pure Gold. So just to whet your appetite. Okay. I don't know, Christina, what should we do? 1 more minute?
Let's give it 1 more minute, yeah.
Okay, 1 more minute. That's great. Okay, welcome all to the Zoom into 2021 with Cynthia, the beginning series. Today is our 2:00 Zoom with myself, Cynthia Corbett, and British pop art icon, Deborah Azzopardi. So we're delighted to see you. I have to say the description of 2:00 Zoom, I did borrow that from my husband. He's very English, and the term was originated by John Betjeman. Some of you might know the famous poet, but I borrowed it from my husband. And I think it's going to be a very interesting series while we're in this third lockdown in London, and hopefully we'll be able to entertain and give our audience a lot of really interesting information. But today, my name is Cynthia Corbett, as I said. I'm the founder and director of the gallery, and I am delighted to be in conversation with Deborah. And what we're going to be talking about is her career, her 35 years of as an artist. And it's quite exciting that last year was her 35-year retrospective. And we did an amazing amount of exhibitions with her online. And today we are talking about primarily her London Art Fair edit, which is called In Art We Trust. And we're going to be discussing many of the artworks in the exhibition, and we're helped by Christina, who's amazing, the techie side, and then also Andrea has created this beautiful slideshow, which you will see as we start talking about the individual works. Deborah, may you say just a few things, and then we'll go right into the exhibition.
Hello and welcome. Very nice to see you all.
So Deborah is in her home studio, and I am in my home gallery in Wimbledon HQ. So I think we're going to start now, and we're going to start with an incredible artwork that Deborah just finished called Balance. And you'll see it on the screen in a couple seconds, I hope. There's Balance. And balance, I mean, strength, power, protection is what she is purposely symbolizing by placing her hands gently together. Her eyes are closed, displaying thick fringed eyelashes and letting others know that she is emitting a unique harmony. So I want Deborah to talk about this work, and I just wanted to say one amazing thing that has happened. Deborah submitted this work to W1 Curates for their Thursday night feature, where they highlight artists' work in commemoration of the NHS, and this was in all over a massive display last Thursday. But Deborah, can you tell us a little bit about your inspiration for this gorgeous work?
I met a lovely young lady. In fact, I knew her when she was a child, and then suddenly 25 years passed and she's all grown up. And she's terribly pretty. In fact, she has jet black hair, very, very beautiful. And I just said to her, would you model for me? And she said, yes, of course. In fact, this is her face, but with sort of my hair and hands. But she's a very, very, very lovely girl. And it's just about balance, stillness. It's just what we need in the world right now, just a little bit of balance. And she lent to it, quite frankly. I just looked at her and I thought, oh, I hope she says yes.
And it really resonates with how we're feeling today.
Yes.
And you actually went to Oxford Street to see your image. Well, how many actually were on the screen? About 1,000?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I don't know, maybe 40. But it changes. It's on a loop every 10 minutes. It looked super, but the blue is so brilliant. It's Klein blue.
Eve Klein blue.
And it's just balance just suited it. It's just about harmony.
Oh, that's so great. I just love it. And her red nails.
Of course, she has to have red nails.
She has to have red nails.
In fact, if I do this, then my hands.
Yes,
I just put my hands.
You have very long hands.
Yeah. Well, I have big hands, but it lent to her.
Well, that helps you with you as a painter.
Yeah.
And the next artwork is called Contemplation. And when I first saw this, I just thought, oh my goodness, this is really different for Deborah. It's more like in the style of Through My Eyes, and the influence by René Gros, the famous French artist and fashion illustrator. But maybe you could tell us a little bit about where this is and what, contemplation is obviously, everyone knows the definition of that, but maybe a little bit about what the meaning is with the rose and the artist.
Well, actually, this is just a girl lying in bed, and all you can see is her knees. She's either lying down or sitting up. And I saw this image in a photograph. And in fact, the mirror and the fireplace is my own, and the plant is my own. I'm looking at it now. And it's just, we've all had those moments when we're lying in bed and we're thinking, okay, shall I get up? That's a nice rose. Shall I stay here? Shall I do this? I'm comfortable. What shall I do? And you're just thinking the day. But in fact, it's like Roy Lichtenstein did his room interiors. There was a sofa and a fridge or something else. This is just another take of an interior. And in fact, I don't really think I've done any interiors. Maybe it's something I'm going to do in the future, just as a series. But I quite like the idea. And of course, I have to use my own home. I have this fireplace and I have the mirror. So it's, artists are inspired by everything. You can't see, but the mirror is actually silver. This isn't a brilliant photograph, unfortunately. I'm really sorry I took it. But it's, the reflection is silver, blue, white. And of course, the vase is glass. So in its real life,
but it's interesting for me, Deborah, knowing your work as I do, Deborah and I have been working together for over 10 years, and I've been representing Deborah's work all over the world. But pink, the pink is not your usual color. I really like this pink and then the soft kind of like a I don't know what that color is that's on the bed. It's really beautiful.
It's very girly. It's very feminine. Is she on her own? Is she with someone? Who is she with?
It's everyday life, isn't it?
It's clearly it's day. It's not night. It would be a darker wall. It would be a darker background. There were so many things that I could put in it, but actually this is enough. The bed sheets are blue, the undersheet, the duvet cover, the creases. It really is contemplation.
So let's talk about the one that everyone in the gallery just went crazy over, Unabashed.
Oh, well, I'm terribly lucky. A lovely lady called Miss E Missy E, thank you very much, is very generous with her body. And she took a photograph of herself. She's taken many photographs, and she provides artists with her material, and it's her. And everything is, of course, inspired by, and never, it's not exactly her, but it really is her. I can see it's her, she can see it's her. And in fact, she titled it Unabashed, not me. And she is just totally brilliant. This painting makes me smile. I wish I were her. Painting it, I thought, I wish I was her. I wish I was her. But it's lovely. She's confident. Really she's not afraid. You can see the depth in her pink shirt behind. You can see as if it were the lining of her shirt.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your brush stroke here, because I think this, because some of the works you can, all of your works are different, but at times, your drawing hand is really, really visible. And I love the fact that you have the hint of red in behind the blouse, the underside of the blouse.
Yeah,
but maybe
it's a darker shade. Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you, if it's not giving away too much, just the way you do your lines, can you just tell us a bit about that?
I don't know. I just have a steady hand. And you can't put a line where a line shouldn't be. You can't put a knee where a knee shouldn't. An elbow has to be where an elbow is. We're all skeletons, and it all has to be that way. But in the blouse that she's wearing, I don't think her original blouse was pink. I think it was white. It's just to show behind and the reverse, the lining. That's all. But the simplicity of this painting makes it stunning. You'd think there's only a few lines. There's a lot of work into this, a huge amount of work, but it's just bold and out there, and I love her for that.
Yeah. Fabulous. Now we're going to move on to one of my personal favorites, Physical Attraction. And it's just, doesn't she just have the greatest legs? And what red, that red, it's just, I'm going to read, but I want to read a little bit about what you said about this painting. The woman in this painting is beautifully dressed and toned. She is using her instinct in an effortless and fun run with her high heel kicked back. She embodies both femininity and style as she runs towards something, bringing attention to herself willingly. It's just really gorgeous, that red. How long does it take you to get something like that painted?
Oh, I was very impatient when I painted this because I wanted it finished. And that's a bad way to be. Sometimes if you spend too long on doing something, you can think, oh, when will I get to the end? And sometimes you can go too fast. And this one, I was too fast because all the time I think I was giggling internally. I'm thinking, go on, run, baby, run. And I've said that to you. I said, oh, she's running, but is she running towards? Is she running from? I think she's running towards someone. I think she's physically attracted and she's running towards. I would love to look like that. I'd love to be her running in those heels and that skirt.
You have such fantasy in your work, but the red.
Yeah, I'm not.
The red. How do you get that? So, obviously this is you can't see, the viewers can't really see how perfect when you do your solid, they will be able to, when I do the tour, at 5, oh yes, I should have said at 5 o'clock we're going to be doing a tour, and then I'm going to be showing more close-ups of some of the work in the exhibition that is hung at the home gallery. But it's just incredible how you get such a perfect finish. We'll be able to see that when we look at some of the, but it's mind-boggling to me because I can't do anything. But it's just really gorgeous, that color.
It's just many thin layers.
Is that what it is?
And built up, yeah. You can't just do one layer. It's not like watercolors and you blend.
Yes.
This is thin layers, and then it really is opaque.
And then we're going to go to I just called to say what? She is just stunning. And look at that retro vintage phone and the red lips. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for this piece.
Well, this is also another friend. I must tell you that every painting is based on someone I know. normally. And this is also a really, really lovely girl, and she is far more beautiful than the way I painted her. She's very beautiful, and she doesn't know it. It's really endearing. And she's modelled for me a couple of times, and she is as lovely. Her personality, any artist who paints her will come out with a wonderful piece, because she is lovely.
She's right. And I love that retro phone. You know, the retro
phone I have, I use it all the time on everything. Yeah, it's an original.
What color is it actually? What was the real color? What's the real
color? Green.
Of the phone. Andrea, we're going to move on because I realize time is ticking, and we're going to go. Could we go the next one to I Spy with My Little Eye? Yes. Now, is it correct that this model is someone that we know? Is this Christina?
Yes, this is. But in fact, this is a little bit of voyeurism and fun. You know, Christina, for those that don't know, is my official photographer, and she is wonderful. And I can see by an eyebrow twitching, or how she feels, or what she move to the left, move to the right, that spotlight's too bright. And I just think this is just me having fun with her. I wanted to have fun with her. And is she looking at us, or are we looking at her? But I think often artists paint their photographers or people that they're working with. I haven't got around to Cynthia yet. Nearly, she was a close one, but I'll get there.
But my daughter, but you've done my daughter.
Yes, I've been inspired by Carmela, most definitely. But it's fun. Christina's beautiful. Anybody would want to paint her.
It's gorgeous. And there's another one of her we might be able to see later. I like the green here. Isn't that racing green? That's British racing green. That's really, again, the way you get that color saturated, it's really phenomenal. Then we're going to go now to pure gold, which is actually behind you. And I have to interject. There's a very funny story here. So when I started to represent Deborah, we did exhibitions all over the world. I mean, I think there's so many places I can't, everywhere, loads of places in Europe, all over America, obviously in London and in the UK, different places in the UK. But I was taking this painting in particular to Miami to do the Art Miami, doing Miami Basel. And I hadn't seen the painting, this is actually a limited edition silkscreen print, one of 15. And I hadn't seen the particular one that I had shipped to Miami. And I opened it up and I was just going crazy because there were all these little marks on the gold. And I called Deborah up from Miami and said, oh my goodness, why did you send this artwork to me? And now you tell about the gold leaf. Because it's every single time it's different. It's
just gold leaf, and it's how it's applied, and every single time it's different, and that's a limited edition. But this is a very special painting. I mean, that's some you always feel a little bit closer about. First of all, it's my daughter, and it's very glamorous. It's very sophisticated. It's how I would love to be seen putting on lipstick, not 2 minutes, I've got to get the bus. I'd love to take the time. And she's in her dressing room or maybe a hotel, and it's just a profile. And imagine the long black gloves. You can see, I don't know if you can see on the screen, but there's electric blue creases where her palm would be and her lines would be. And it's just elegant. It's just really, it's real 1920s elegance.
It is, right. And the feather boa.
The feather boa, absolutely.
And so this is from an original painting. So I should say maybe here I can explain. Deborah's work is both originals, which I represent all over the world for her, as well as her very limited edition silkscreen prints, which this is one of those. And that's edition of 15. And we're going to, when we do the tour, we're going to talk about some of the others. Now, why don't we move on to, shall we go to One Lump or Two? Because that features it also features the Shush. So this is an amazing original painting from 2014. So this actually debuted, didn't it, Deborah, when we did your major retrospective, your career retrospective on Cork Street in 2014.
Yes.
And it features the very famous painting Shush, which you can maybe talk a tiny bit about your journey with Shush and how widely published that image is.
SHUSH has been published as a fine art print in hundreds, thousands, millions throughout the world. And this is very British, having a cup of tea, and we can think of it however we like, but I just put the Shush on the china. In fact, since then, Shush has been produced on china, but it wasn't at this time. And it's just with the fun strapline as one lump or two. What thrills me actually about this painting, and it really does, is my grandmother was born in 1902, and these are her sugar servers. And I don't think we would even buy these sugar spoons now. So this is a silver plate sugar servers that my model was holding, who is a wonderful girl who's also modeled for me quite a few times, on a make-believe teacup. And it just encompasses everything. It has the Shush, a bit of my history, with a lovely model.
So great. I love it. Yeah, that's really, that is an amazing painting. Shall we go to And Breathe? This is
so I don't know if you can
she's
see.
Lovely.
Meet my cousin Polly. This is Polly, and Polly was dancing at the time, and she's very elegant and very sophisticated. Of course, she wasn't by the sea, but I painted the sea in, and it's just and breathe, relax, and maybe sometimes I know that when I've been with the sea, and I don't get to the sea too often, you almost want to breathe in and out with the waves. It's just to relax.
Can you hold up the
breathe
painting just so? Are you able to hold up the painting?
I can't get over there. I can't get over there
because it's not. But it's not that. It's quite little, isn't it?
No. It's small. It's small. Yeah. But you can see the dimensions on the webpage. But it's it's sort of romantic. I mean, she wouldn't. You know, we'd all love to wear a long dress and go through the sea. We're not really. It's a bit of make believe, but it just lent to her. She's very elegant, and it is again just the stillness and to breathe in and out with the waves.
Again, I'm really just so impressed with that blue. That's such a sky blue, and to get that in such an even, perfect way, that's incredible. How about if we go to the next slide? And may I come in? Do you want to talk about the Habitat series a little bit?
This painting was made into a postcard pack for Habitat. I think it was 1 or 5 or 6, I can't remember. And it was called the dating pack. And on this image, she's saying, "May I come in?" She's not actually asking, she's going to walk in anyway. She's very determined. And so it's just feminine, fun. She's going in, she's not going to ask. Sometimes we say, "May I come in?" Blast, push the door open anyway. I'm going to go.
And there's and the painting behind me, Bing Bong, is from that series as well, also. As is the Bring, which we'll see on the tour, and as well as Slam. And was there one other? I can't remember.
No.
Bing Bong, Slam.
Bong, Slam, Bring.
Yeah, and it's all about. You know,
it's all about dating. I mean, yeah.
And how about, let's move on to It Must Be Love, Love. And that is also Christina, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That red jacket is just unbelievable. And you said this work has recently been published as well. It's quite small, isn't it? The painting.
Yes, but it was published in various different sizes. We can think anything we want into this, but I would think that it must be love, love, love. You know, that feeling that you've got it, that's it, it's right. Why do I feel like this? I'm tingling. It's just sweet. It's a very sweet picture. And Christina has a sweetheart-shaped face, and it just goes with it. It's how she's made. Her face is the shape of a heart, and so it works well. She has a beautiful jawline.
It's beautiful, really, really gorgeous. That again, the red on that. let's move on to delaying technique, because I think that is hilarious.
Oh, he was a lovely man.
And when, I mean, okay, so I should mention here that just that if you, when our viewers, when we're done, if you want to go on our website, go on the London Art Fair website, go on the Artsy page. But on our website and on the London Art Fair website, you can see all these incredible artworks from Deborah, as well as descriptions, written narrative from Deborah, and other people have written comments about each of the painting. And some of them have audio descriptions from my daughter, Carmela Corbett, who's an actress and a writer. And I think she's known, she's been a model for Deborah, and she's known Deborah since she was a teenager. And she thinks that this man might be a spy. What do you think? I don't know, Deborah.
He's avoiding somebody. I don't
Okay.
know. He was great, this guy. He put on his suit for me and everything. He was really good. It's just like, oh, maybe I dropped something, maybe I'm not, maybe I'll just do this up, maybe I'll wait, or maybe he's just genuinely doing up his shoelace. But there's
what
great
a
movement
dresser.
there.
What,
He's
he
snappy.
really dressed like this?
He's a real snappy dresser. Yeah. And I don't know, his socks, his shoes and everything. I laughed a lot while I was painting this. And it's very big. You can look at this for a very long time.
And this is acrylic on paper, isn't it? And the paper
no,
is,
I don't think so. I think
yes,
it's acrylic on board.
it's acrylic on paper.
Is it? I've forgotten.
Yeah.
But I love that blue. The Klein blue is just wonderful. It just speaks. And again, this is just a moment in time. You can imagine if he's on a pavement or wherever he is. It's fun. You can see all his muscles in his legs.
Oh, I know. He has great legs.
Yeah, he's great. It's really great.
So let's go to Unplanned and Mayfair. Let's stop here for a minute.
Yes.
I just could not believe when I saw this limited edition, incredible silkscreen print from the 90s. This is not the way I planned it. I mean, what could be more relevant for what we're going through today? Correct? And this one is, so the date on this is circa 1991, and then 2018. So what happened here, Deborah? Because you actually created this ages ago.
So this is 30 years ago, and this was the first silkscreen print I ever tried. And I thought, well, let me see if I can do it. And in fact, what happened in 2018 is you and I had a discussion, and you came to the studio and soon you said, what's that? So I said, oh, this is fun. This is whatever. And you said, but this is wonderful. Why haven't I ever seen it before? Artists have a lot of work. And in fact, with each one of these, of course, I can change the eye color. I think the pupil color in this is sort of blue, and I can add to it. I can embellish it. I don't think her nail was originally painted, and so I could paint it whatever color, but it just went. But in fact, it's so true, because I thought, well, let me see what happens with this screen print. Let me see if they can really color match my colors to the colors of the ink that we actually use when we're screen printing. And I was thinking, this is so good, but it could not be, maybe it's not the way I planned it, because I never actually intended to do silk screen prints. It was never my intention, but you evolve. This is such a long time ago. I think I was pregnant at the time that I was producing this, and your mind, you just you want to paint more, do more, and it's exciting. It's not the way I planned it.
So this was the start of your many incredible limited edition silkscreen prints.
This is the first time we took. Okay. It was the first time,
and this is the first time this painting, print has ever been offered for sale as well. So that's very exciting. And yes. I think we're going to end with Mayfair trenchcoats before we go then on the tour. Okay. I just think this is unbelievable.
Well, they're in Regent Street, aren't they? They're in Regent Street having a very big discussion somehow, somewhere, something like that.
Again, I mean, who are they? What kind of men are they? And what are they talking about? It's very mysterious, isn't it? And the colors you've used here, it's just incredible.
You know, we all know the name Burberry and Burberry coats and Burberry raincoats, and they all have linings and they all have their and this is actually the back of that kind of raincoat. Mm-hmm. But I just changed the colors because that's a nice color, but I can't copy. I have to use my own colors. And I just liked it. Again, they're snappy dresses.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous. And again, the yellow, that yellow, which we're going to look at now. So I'm going to, Andrea, I'm going to turn the camera around somehow now, and I'm going to do a little wee tour of the Wimbledon HQ. So, and I'm starting with this incredible wall here. I should say a little tiny bit about where I live and what this place is or was. We moved here in 1998. It was a former Italianate villa. We have part of it, and it became a convent in the 1890s. And we have the original part of the where the convent was. So this is really exciting. And why we loved this was we have, look at all the walls, lateral walls. So when I created my gallery in 2004, I thought I'm going to, I have plenty of wall space, and I have a home gallery. So this wall is, it's an Azzopardi fest. So we start here with Gossip, which is also part of the London Art Fair exhibition. And I just think she is incredible. The blonde, the yellow there, that is a limited edition silkscreen print, you can see. I don't know where the signature, oh, there's the signature. Yeah, there's Deborah's signature. This is one of 10. You know, she's obviously talking on the phone, the retro vintage phone. And this Bing Bong, this is part of the dating series. So this maybe starts the date, correct? Like you're ringing on the doorbell. And look at the yellow in here. You know, look at the surface, the way she's painted this. It's just incredible. Where is the signature on this? She always hides them. Where have you put it?
I don't know.
It's here
maybe
somewhere.
Look on the doorbell. Maybe look on the inside near the press. If my memory, I don't know. I'd have to look. It's just a game, Cynthia. I just have a game. I just hide the signature all the time. It's never.
Here's the incredible coffee table book with the essay written by the wonderful Estelle Lovett. An incredible catalog of Deborah's work, which was put together for the retrospective in 2014. And then here we have a woman painting her nails called Femme Fatale. This is a work, acrylic on paper. And the paper that you use is this really special, thick, incredible paper. And this one is called Side Exit. I just think, to me, what is he doing, this man?
Oh, he's also legging it. He's running. He's off.
Exit stage. That's such a great painting. Really, really fun. It's almost cartoonish in a sense, Deborah. Who's the model?
Oh gosh, he is a sweet guy. He's also on the run. They're all on the run, Cynthia. they're all going for it.
So now we're going to go over to something that is so incredibly special and very poignant. This is a limited edition silkscreen print called "Love Is the Answer," and I think some of you may know about this this artwork. Some of you may know this was made in 2016 at the request and in collaboration with Amy Winehouse's parents, Mitch and Janice Winehouse. So it's very special. The model is a combination of Deborah's daughter and Amy Winehouse. And we worked on this I guess Deborah worked on this for nearly 2 years. And then we worked with the Amy Winehouse Foundation and sold, we sold 12, I believe. We've sold 12 in the edition of 15. We have number 14 and 15 still left. for sale, and a percentage of the proceeds went to the Amy Winehouse Foundation. But Deborah, tell us about this and about the earrings, and are just so amazing.
This is taking the icon of SHUSH and putting it in the icon of the pop star. And it wasn't my first thought, actually. There were many, many ways that I was thinking of trying to represent her. And I think this was the best way for her, for the family, after many conversations with them all. And also, love is the answer. Love is the answer to everything. It's a sensitive painting. It's not to be exactly of her, it's just to capture the emotion, to capture the soul. And her eyes are closed, because if we could just be still, take a moment, think, pause. People don't stop and think and pause anymore. Even I don't, you know. Even
yeah,
I,
and they was Janice and Mitch. They just loved it. They just
they
loved
did.
it.
It was very touching to see when we first opened the limited editions. It was very touching to see. But of course, the rose in the hair and her hair, it was symbolic for her. It was her. And the earrings are platinum. She always loved wearing, Janice always said she loved wearing big hoop earrings. And in fact, her earrings were gold. She never wore silver. But I'm not very keen on gold with yellow. So I wanted it to be
So
silver.
platinum is beautiful.
It wasn't right. So platinum was better. Yeah, it was just a better colour tone.
And that's platinum leaf.
Quiet.
Yeah, it's
just on the earrings.
So we're gonna take another little a little walk. A lot of this here is different artists that you can see, and some things that are actually part of our family collection as well. That's a Tracy Emin. That's Chris Afili. Another gorgeous silkscreen print called "Save the Date" of Deborah. And Firebird, which is incredible, with those legs, coming out of what kind of car is that?
It's a Firebird, 1957 American Firebird.
Oh, well, of course it is.
That's why it's called Firebird.
It's called Firebird. Duh. Okay. And we're going to stop here, and you're going to talk a little bit about The Great Escape.
Oh, so The Great Escape, well, we should all have a little red dress. We should all have a little black dress. I have neither, but it's cute in a red dress. And she's just leaning through a Rolls Royce, and she's fine. She's okay. She's saying, cheerio, guys. I'm all right. I've got my glass of bubbly, and it's The Great Escape, and she's off. But it's not quite as hard as that. She's very glamorous, and she's having fun.
And this is also that's Silverleaf, isn't it?
It's a silk screen print, and it has Silverleaf, which is then varnished. I think there's only one left of those. I think that was an edition of 15. I can't remember.
It was edition of 15.
Yeah, dynamic.
And there's the little guilty pleasure.
Oh, guilty pleasure because she's eating a flaky chocolate, and she's
an original.
Yeah,
and then we've got we have Ring. That is incredible. That's the phone, right?
Yeah, because how do you make a phone sound like it's ringing? It's quite a long time ago that I did that now. It's a huge painting. It doesn't look as huge here, but it is. It's very large. I think it's 1 meter by 1 meter. I like the impact of that.
Yeah, it's great with the phone. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's nice on the yellow wall.
And may I come in? It was over here. We moved Amy into the other room, and something else is coming there later. And this one was it was from a painting that Deborah did to benefit the British Friends of the Art Museums of Israel, called Girl with a Diamond Earring. And this is incredible, isn't it? It's really, and there's the diamond
we
earring.
don't often use the word swoon, but she's swooning. I mean, you know how the English language changes so much all the time. But she, my heart's beating, my head is thumping, everything's happening. She's swooning.
That was a great start to the relationship with the British Friends of the Art Museums of Israel, and that was been a really wonderful collaboration and supportive, and because we also debuted the Amy Winehouse "Love Is the Answer," and it was a beautiful. It was really beautiful because Mrs. Winehouse was able to be there, and that was very special. So I think now maybe it's time. What do we do about questions, Andrea or Christina? Can people put their questions in the chat room, or how do we want to do this? Does anyone have any questions?
So at the moment, there's no questions, but if you can just please put them in the chat room or simply unmute yourself, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, anyone want to, I mean, this is an opportunity to ask Deborah about her practice and about her life and about her work. And I'm sure someone must have some questions. Any? No? Maybe then I will ask some questions. Okay. So Deborah, how about would you mind talking a little bit about when you, as a young person, when you actually realized that you were going to be an artist and that was going to be your life's work?
I didn't. I just thought I had a short illness. I was young. I was in my early 20s. And when I recovered, in fact, the day I came out of hospital, I thought, oh, this is so silly. We just have one life. I was very happy. I had a little baby, husband, home, everything. There was no problems in my life. And I totally changed my world and thought, I'm going to paint. And I still believe this, that if you have a good reason to get up every morning, that's what you need. You need a good reason to get up every morning. And nothing would have made me happier than painting. So I'm self-taught. I think I studied when I was a child. I went to night classes, maybe a few things like that. I honestly can't remember, but I always loved art. I wasn't able to go to university. Circumstances didn't let me, but it was just something I wanted to do. Well, I thought I'll try. You know, you only let yourself down if you don't try. You have to try. So I tried. And 35 years later, still at it. But it gives you, it's something every day. You have to be excited every day. And it's been wonderful, actually, because it's fitted in with my family, children, grandchildren, and now everyone's flown and I can give it even more time.
Oh, it's really wonderful. Now,
We do have a question that's come in, Cynthia. We have a couple.
okay.
So if one of them would be, Deborah, how do you decide when to go which medium?
I always work in acrylic. I don't ever work in anything else. I like it because it dries fast, and I do make a decision whether or not I work on paper or on board. Sometimes it takes time because my boards are all made for me and they're properly structured, and so I have to wait for them to come. So sometimes in between I might think, okay, this one will work on paper. It's just some people like paper and some people like board. It just depends on what you like. And so sometimes I think, yes, this will work well on that. So I don't actually know what makes me decide. It's just a whim.
And another question is, how do you decide on the subject?
Oh, do you know what? I've been asked this so much. I think these subjects choose me. People have walked into my life that have been so amazing. This year, we should have had a very big event with all of these people in my life attending, because the models, the muses, the people I've met have just been wonderful. And then sometimes it's like with the girl with the yellow background with the phone hanging down. I just met her and there was a connection, and I just, oh, she could model for me. And I really think people choose me. I think you start out thinking, oh, I'll do this and this and this. And then sometimes you see someone, just like at the beginning, the girl with the balance, where she's like that. When I met her, it was a moment, and I thought, oh, I wonder if she'll model for me. She'd look great doing that. So it's a connection between the two people. But I don't only do figurative. I mean, Cynthia's sitting in front of a bing bong. It's a doorbell that grabbed me. Mm-hmm. And it's a doorbell that I used to go to all the time. And I thought, what a friendly doorbell. The ding dong was so nice. But I changed it to a bing bong. Bing bong. And how do you make sound? How do you make sound come alive on a painting? I don't know why a doorbell chose me. It just chose me.
So great. There was a question here, which I think is really intriguing. says, I'm calling from Canada. Does our painting have a name? I'll hold up a picture of it.
Yes, please email me.
Yes. That's really interesting. This person is, okay.
Please, hello.
The person is trying to hold up the painting?
I've seen it. Yes, please email me and I will speak to you.
Wow.
Great. We can do that. We bought it 25 years ago. So
yes,
wow.
I know, how lovely. This is the most wonderful thing, that now, because of Instagram and the world and emails, and especially Cynthia, when we were at Home House, I was seeing people that I'd met 35 years ago, and this is so incredible that we can meet up this way. It's a real honor for me. It's a real honor, because I can say, oh wow, look, we've all grown up together. And that
we've had that painting hanging in our home now for 25 years, since 1995. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's
in
wonderful.
Canada, in the middle of Canada, in Winnipeg. Yeah.
You're in Winnipeg. Wow.
In Winnipeg. Yes.
Well, is it also time to get another and something else? You know, you're seeing us. You know, a new one to go with the old one.
Well,
there's lots.
We're running out of wall
So
space
please,
in our house. Running out of wall space.
Well, just let us know.
I think we've been in touch. Yeah, I think we've been in touch
At this point,
once
when we make a new purchase, I have to ask my husband if we're taking it to our assisted living facility.
Okay.
We'll speak. I think we were in touch about 15 years ago.
A little while ago. We did, but we don't have a name for the painting. And now that I see that the thing has a name, I'd like to know what the name is of our painting. Okay. So thank you very much.
Okay.
We've got a few more questions. So one says, I love your paintings, very graphic and colorful. Is your surname Azzopardi from the Mediterranean island of Malta? It is a common surname.
So finally I figured out how to do it.
Yes,
so
it is.
It's from Malta.
Yes, it's Maltese.
And then someone is asking, can I ask if you have ever considered producing a piece reflecting diversity? We've actually had that conversation recently.
Of course, I have done. They've sold. Of course. What you're seeing here is a very, very small selection of over 35 years. It's very small. The collection is actually huge, and we can't show everything, but of course I have.
Mm-hmm. And you know, if you and if I could just add something there, if you have someone that would be, you know, interested to model for Deborah, and that and then they, you know, that's also because all your models, correct, Deborah, they're all normal people. Everyone, you know, is it's not, you know, professional models. So if someone would like to maybe sit for Deborah when people can be with each other again, I guess that would be lovely.
I didn't hear everything. The line cut. So sorry.
Oh, what I said. No, I was suggesting to the person asking the question that, you know, if they know of someone that might want to model, they can all obviously volunteer. And when you maybe can see someone again, you know, physically, that could be a really interesting.
We can always look.
Yeah. And then we have a question from someone that I think I know very well, who is a lovely collector of Deborah Azzopardi's work. It says, where do you get your inspiration from? How does the creative process typically start?
It's life, love, laughter, family, friends, everything that you see around you. Having an open mind, not having judgment, putting it all in a patch, shaking it up, and just keeping your mind open. Your mind always has to be open. We're all inspired by everything, but sometimes life can weigh us down and you can have a heavy load on your shoulders. You can forget to see around. I don't approve of clutter. I don't approve of things in my mind that I don't want to be there. You want to live a whole life and see everything. So it's no formula. It's just being true to yourself and listening to yourself.
But you have to admit you're pretty prolific. So you have a very active mind, I think. Be doing
a few people
this.
might agree with you.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just to enjoy life. It's one chance. I only want to have fun. Doesn't everybody want to have fun? There's so many people that say, oh, you know, how terrible this has happened to me, but they haven't made an effort or made a change for that not to happen to them. And you have to have it in yourself for those things to do. Nobody can do it for us. So it's only because I was determined to try to do something that I loved. It's not, there's no magic formula. If you do something you love, it will work, whatever it is. I mean, I used to be able to make cakes, but I didn't want to eat cake. But I was a pretty good cake maker, but I thought, this is no good. You know, so whatever you do, there's a way, isn't there? It's hard finding the way. It's not easy because you have to pay the rent. And that's the hardest part for an artist. How do you pay the rent? But in time, it's slow. I mean, I'm older now. It's 35 years of painting. So
then let me see. I think there's two more questions here. It says, I would love to know more about Deborah's process. Do you do studies? Do you take photos, etc.?
I didn't hear all of that, but I did hear you say, do I take studies or photos? So I can
about your process. Yeah. Do you do studies?
I see. So normally, so if we take the Great Escape, for example, or even the Bing Bong behind you, the Bing Bong, I knew the doorbell well, and doorbells are just circles. I have a memory and I retain, but with the Great Escape, it was lots and lots of photographs. And it's never one photograph, it's always a bit in each. And nowadays we have phones. I used to work with a camera and then I developed them, then I go through all the pictures and lay them out. But now it's normally always from photographs, but it could be 100 photographs, 100 stills just to get to one thing. It's incredibly exciting because in between taking photographs, and if I take this young lady from The Great Escape, in between taking photographs, all I want to do is come back to my studio and I fall asleep thinking about it. And what will I do? And what colour dress? Oh, yes, that's funny. And it's a moment you go, aha. And you can find yourself giggling, ah, you know, that's the one I'll paint. So the process is actually quite long because even while you're painting something, you're thinking of something else. I only work on one painting at a time. But while I'm thinking about one, in the back of my mind, there's another or another. And in between all that, Cynthia arranges shippers and phone calls and packers and accountants, and Cynthia arranges everything. It's busy.
Yes, and well, besides the paintings, the original paintings, and the limited edition silkscreen prints, Deborah is also in great demand by her publisher to be publishing work all over the world. And that has also been something that relationship with your publisher, and it means that Deborah's her work is extremely famous. All her image, the recognition of her work all over the world, but people don't necessarily always know it is you. Isn't that the case sometimes, Deborah?
Well, social media has changed that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my publisher is wonderful, and I like doing publishing simply because it makes art available for everybody, not just the elite. But of course, anybody can have a print, not everybody can have an original. You know, the originals now, the prices have grown. So at least it makes images available for everyone, and I have the fun, because it is really good fun, of seeing it out there. It's lovely seeing it in people's hands and other people enjoying something at what I call an affordable and reasonable price. No, the publishing side is just fun.
Yeah, I think the internet is going a little bit funny, isn't it? Can people hear us still?
Okay.
I'm here.
Yes.
Andrea, is there something wrong with the connection?
Yes.
I think it's just on Deborah's side, but it's been good all
Okay.
this time, so it's not a problem.
And how about anyone any last minute questions? And I think the next question, why don't we allow the person to speak if they want to? You can unmute if someone, I guess, how does that work, Andrea? Does someone say in the chat room if they want to?
You can just unmute themselves if they'd like to.
If they'd like
ask
to
a question.
ask a question of Deborah. Anyone else? Yes. Well, I think what I'm going to say is that this has been just a delight having this conversation with you, Deborah. And
Thank
you
you,
did
Cynthia. It's an honor. Thank you.
amazing. I know you're a little bit more shy than I am, but you just did. It was. I think everyone feels that they got a picture of your inspiration and your practice, and it's really been
Thank you.
just an absolute delight. And then if people are interested in finding out more, we can do private Zooms, we can do WhatsApp, we can do FaceTime. At the moment, we just can't really do, physical in-person appointments, but I have to commend the London Art Fair for doing what they're doing, because it's really great that we were able to have that visibility for Deborah's work and for the various galleries during this, this challenging time. We have some incredible work of all different prices, I must say. People will be surprised at the range of work available and the diversity of that work. And, just get in touch with us if anyone wants further information or pricing or private Zooms. But thank you all so much. We had a really good audience. And thank you very much, Andrea, for the fabulous slide presentation, and for you and Christina, as always, being amazing, incredible ladies. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Wendy.
And hope to see you all soon.
Thanks so much. Great honor.
Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.